What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Initially Awkward. It's your boy, Derek Devine. And we are here with another segment of Sitting with the Awkward, part two. And again, this is a little segment, short segment, about 7 to 10 minutes where I do a quick recap on not so much the episode, but I do a recap or better yet, a reflection of what I took from the podcast. Now, you got to keep in mind when I'm doing these interviews, yes, I'm putting it out to the public. I'm doing all of that and I'm hoping that people view it and get something from it. But probably most importantly, I'm getting something from it because I'm interviewing people that I actually know, that I actually admire. And I'm asking them questions that maybe I never had a chance to ask them or I never had. I don't know. It's just a way. It's just I've been able to get some information, some really deep information about the people that I've been interviewing, and I would just say in the few episodes that I've had, I've learned quite a bit. Now, the last episode that I dropped was the one featuring Dwayne Ratton Sr., which is simply my dad or pops. He talked about a lot of different things. Some things that come to mind was P to the fourth power, M to the third power, discipline, determination, dedication equals winner always. He definitely talked about his faith and how it originated and his upbringing. And then he talked about leadership. He talked about the work he's doing at the Powell Center. He talked about iLive, the market night that happens in San Bernardino at the school at Powell Center. A lot of different things was covered. Again, if you haven't had a chance to look at that podcast, please go back and look at it. There was a lot of things that he said that I did know about, and there were some things that it was like legit. It was like, man, I really didn't know that was a thing. So what was some of the things I sat with? What are some of the things I sat with? So he mentioned he has this segment in there, or he has this portion where he's talking about God doesn't yell, God is silent. And when he said that, you could see it on my face. He starts cooking, and I'm like, probably hit one of those or something like that. But when he said it, I was like, wow, that is so true. And it's so true, especially for me in this season. To kind of frame it, let me go back. I like to think of myself as a very ambitious person. But I'm not overly ambitious. I'm not stepping over people. I'm not knocking people over to get what I want. But I think I'm very strategic in what I want. And if I have my eyes set on something, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to move the needle to get where I need to go to get to that final goal. But in this season, it's a little different, I must admit, because I find that ambition is still there, but I would say it's probably a bit more refined. It didn't just leave me, but I feel God is inviting me to more time where I'm just sitting in his presence. And that's before and after. So let's talk a little bit about before. When I wake up in the morning, a lot of the times, it's probably the hardest thing for me to do is get up. But what he's been challenging me a little bit more in this season is to wake up, be intentional, spend some quiet time with him. And since I've been doing it, it literally starts my day off. It's night and day for what it does for me, for what it does. When he talked about, God isn't silent, how I took it was, there's going to be some times where you got to turn the computer off. You got to turn the ambition down a little bit. You got to turn your ego down a bit so you can hear what God is actually trying to speak to you. I know when I was younger, I probably looked at it as God doesn't want that part of me. He just wants me to be perfect or whatever. I don't think that's it. I think God likes my ambition. I think God loves the fact that I'm a go-getter and I feel like I can move the needle. I also think he's trying to protect me because if I have a mission, if I have a purpose, if he wants me on it long term, I think his mindset, if I could even say this, is that he wants me to do it the right way so I can be in it long term so I don't burn myself out. It's a form of protection. So that's the before. I'm sitting with God before, and I'm really trying to get a feel for, what is true. And honestly, when I wake up in the morning and I'm sitting with God and I'm writing and I'm meditating, that's really what it is. I feel like I wake up in despair. The first thing I do when I wake up is probably, I'm angry that I gotta wake up because I'm going somewhere that I gotta go. But me sitting with the silence with God is pretty much downloading truth into me. And when he downloads truth into me, he also is naturally developing that gratitude, or I'm naturally developing that gratitude because I'm actually looking at things for what they really are, not from where I want them to be or where I think they should be. It's a truth, and that truth is beautiful. I think truth is beautiful. And some of us are afraid of it. For a long time, I was afraid of it. But if we're being honest, truth is a beautiful thing because it truly does set us free. I'm under the impression if you are making a whole bunch of moves, but it's based in falsehood, then you're not really going anywhere. Like if I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff, and for example, I'm getting a bunch of followers and a bunch of likes and comments, but it's fake and it's not something I actually believe in, what did I actually really do? I just got popularity that really doesn't mean anything, if I'm being honest. But that's the before. Let's talk a little. That's the before. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the after. I feel like in the after is the reflection piece of it, right? The after is keeping me from when I go back to work the next day. Maybe I had a coworker that did something, or maybe I had a tough day. Reflecting in it is helping me show up better the next day. God, I wish I could say that better. I wish I could say it better in the after. Really, it's just he's with me in the reflection. He's with me in the reflection when I do it right and when I don't do it right. Like, simply put, he is there, and I'm getting better at letting him be there. I have this analogy that when I score, let's say I play football, and you can probably see these movie posters behind me, and mostly going to be football. I play football, and although I couldn't celebrate at any of the teams I played for, what I do, I have a proverbial slam the ball down, spike the ball, and I do my dance. That's how I celebrate internally when I do something great. And a lot of the times, it probably is better just to hand the ball to the ref and just walk back. Because in that time where I'm celebrating, spiking the ball, dancing, high-fiving, there's a lot of things happening in that gap between when I'm dancing and then the next time I get the ball. I'm taking my focus off what I really want, and that's to be present and there for the next play. So I have a tendency to celebrate a little bit too long, is what I'm trying to say. I will celebrate too long and forget, we're going to get the ball back eventually. Are you ready? Are you dialed in? Are you still worried about what you did last time? Definitely believe you got to celebrate yourself, and I'm getting better in that. Got to celebrate, but I do think there's time and place. There's a time and place where you got to lock in. You got to lock in, and you just got to do what needs to be done. So I would say I'm having a lot less moments where I'm having to go back and apologize for things, because I'm reflecting, and I'm reflecting from a way that I believe has been beneficial in inviting God into the space. So, man, there's so many different things. If you notice, my dad, he does a lot of rhyming too. So when he starts rhyming, I know he's cooking. As soon as he starts rhyming, I kind of started the video with one that made me laugh. I forget what it is, but he's a rhymer. If you know him, I wonder if he's like that at work. If anybody works with him and you're watching his podcast, let me know, because that is funny to me if he's like that. But my whole life growing up, he's rhymed, and it made things funny, and that's probably how he remembers it. But good episode. A lot of things to take away from. What did you take away from it? Was it the and I'll pose this, the sitting with the silence. Have you noticed yourself sitting in silence and God is speaking to you? Better yet, how do you get yourself to a silent place when everything is so loud? Instagram is loud, YouTube is loud, the job is loud, the kids is loud, ambition is loud. Man, how are you getting to that place of solitude? Let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from it. Again, it's your boy Derek Devine. Please like, comment, subscribe. We got a lot of great feedback. Last week was the first week of Initially Awkward being launched, and I went live with it on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. So got a lot of positive feedback. Just appreciate the love, and hopefully I can get you on a podcast, whoever you are. Hopefully I can get you on a podcast next. So appreciate y'all. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, be easy. Sitting in dark, who would've known that the deepest fears